Need some coins for that God Squad you've always wanted? For fast and cheap coins, check out instantmudcoins.com and use code ZIRK for 20% off. Link is in the description.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be going over my Team of the Week, Week 9 predictions. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Guapo for being a part of the Nota Gang. If you guys want a chance to be shouted out in the next video, drop a like in the vid, make sure you guys are subbed to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and comment down below Nota Gang. Now, per usual, when it comes to my Team of the Week prediction, guys, I am going to be going over the set cards that I think we're going to see, as well as the heroes, the flashbacks, and the LTD. I'm just going to really quickly say this because it's still happening every single week, guys. When it comes to the player of the week, that is a current player. The LTD is a current day player, but it's not from this week. I know I've been getting asked a lot, like every single week when I do Team of the Week predictions, all that stuff. The LTD is a current day player, but it is not based on what they did in 2020. It is based on previous years, so just keep that in mind. And also the flashback players, obviously, they don't play anymore. So let's dive into my offensive set first. Who do I think is going to get a card? Well, I think we are going to see Richie James get a card. He had 9 catches, 184 yards, and a touchdown for the 49ers this week. So I do think he is going to get an upgrade. And the other 2 players for this week, I honestly am pretty iffy about one of them that I think is going to get an upgrade. But I think that we are going to see another receiver, and I really think it's between 2 players here. It could be Jerry Jeudy, because Jerry Jeudy did have a pretty good game. But keep in mind, Jeudy has an 84 overall card, right? So if Jeudy gets an upgrade for this week's Team of the Week, he's probably going to take the place of like where Dalvin Cook is at, right? He'll be like an 88 overall. But he did have 7 catches, 125 yards, and a touchdown. So Jerry Jeudy had a good enough week to go ahead and get a Team of the Week card. But I think in the set, maybe even we see Jerry Jeudy as well, they could do 3 wide receivers in the set. Like, I would not be surprised at all if they did that. Richie James, Jerry Jeudy, and Tyreek Hill. I think that Tyreek could potentially see a +1 overall today or tomorrow. I don't think he's going to get the hero, but he had 9 catches, 113 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I feel like Tyreek Hill could get a +1. I don't think he did enough to get the hero, because the hero, I think, had a much better week than him on comparison. But Tyreek, I think we could see in the set instead of Jerry Jeudy, or they could actually do 3 wide receivers. Something that I found very interesting, and I want to tell you guys about this, is there's only 2 players this week that actually had 100+ yards. I know that James Robinson had 99, but only 2 players had 100+. Kyler Murray had 100 yards rushing, over 100, and then Dalvin Cook had over 200 yards rushing. There was no other running backs with 100+ rushing yards than Dalvin Cook, and he had over 200. He had 206 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, and this is where I think the set gets a little bit confusing, because to be honest, you guys, I think Dalvin deserves another card, right? I mean, he had such an incredible week. If I was to make the Team of the Week set, I would say probably Richie, I'd probably put Richie James in here, so we have a lower overall guy getting an upgrade there. And then I would put Tyreek Hill, and I'd go with Dalvin Cook again. But honestly, I don't think they're going to give another +1 to Dalvin, right? Because Dalvin Cook already has a 90 overall, so powered up to a 91. Then they just gave him a +1 last week to a 92. Will they give Dalvin Cook another +1 and bring him up to a 93 overall? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Do I want it? Yeah, I would love that. That'd be awesome if they did. I want it to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. So realistically, which isn't realistic at all, sometimes it comes to sets, maybe they do Dalvin Cook again, I think we're probably going to see Richie James, Tyreek Hill, and Jerry Jeudy. I think that's pretty reasonable. Maybe they do actually switch out Jeudy or Tyreek and put in Dalvin Cook. We'll see. Now, on to the defensive side of things. I'm going with Reed from the Seahawks, the defensive tackle. He had 2.5 sacks this game. Now, I am going to let you guys know, I was going to put A.J. Klein on this list. For you Bills fans out there, I think he had 2 sacks and a forced fumble. He had a pretty good week, but he already has an 84 overall card as well. And I think he could potentially slide in here, but I actually think it's really interesting and something they could do. There were 2 safeties this week with the same exact stat lines that I think could get upgrades. And those 2 safeties both had 6 tackles, a fumble recovery, and an interception. Jabril Peppers and Minkah Fitzpatrick. So here's the thing though, Fitzpatrick already has an 88 overall card. So I think what they would do, and it's actually an 88 overall team of the week as well, they would probably put Reed maybe as like the 84, right? And then give Peppers the 88, and probably give Minkah Fitzpatrick like an 80 overall card. So Minkah would get a +1, Peppers will probably get an 88, and then we'll probably see Reed slide in here at the 84. I think it makes sense for those three. But as for the player of the week this week, Bills fans, don't worry, I may have taken out AJ Klein, but I think we're going to get a Josh Allen. Josh Allen had 4 total touchdowns and 429 total yards as well. Now, I do know, yes, that Josh Allen has an 89 overall card, right? So Josh Allen has an 89 overall, powered up to a 90 overall, but here's the thing. I think we may see an overall increase in Team of the Week this week because we just had the 50 go up to 93 overall. Legends got a +1 overall as well. So I believe this is the first week where we will see that +1 overall. So you guys see the last couple of weeks, we've had 91 overall players of the week. Well, the player of the week this week, at least I think anyways, should be a 92 overall. If they just keep up with the overalls, which they do with Legends, they do with the 50, so they're going to do it with Team League 2. So this is the first week where we should see 92 overall for players of the week, as well as the flashback heroes. So that means giving Josh Allen a 92 overall, and he has a 90 right now, makes sense. Now, could they switch him out and put him in the set and just give him a +1 and then maybe they make it like Tyreek the hero or something? They could, but I think it's pretty obvious that Josh Allen had the best week. So to me, it makes sense. Josh Allen, player of the week. But now let's go over my offensive hero and the defensive hero. And I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. I actually, I fully expect to get an offensive lineman hero. But I'm not putting an offensive line in my predictions. That's boring. I will never do that. I'm not going to predict an offensive line for the flashback. But I'm just going to tell you guys right now, it's probably going to be an alignment. I don't see how it's not. We basically have every single position absolutely stacked. And then we only have one O-lineman. They could go wherever they want, I suppose, because it's EA, but I fully expect to see another offensive lineman flashback. I hope it's not. But for this week, for the offensive flashback, I'm going to go with Brandon Marshall. In 2012, he had 122 yards and 3 touchdown catches. I don't think it's going to be a crazy good card. It's a bigger name player. It's a great run blocking wide receiver. I don't really think he's going to work too well in Madden 21 if he is the flashback hero, depending on his speed. Maybe they juice him up a bit, but Brandon Marshall was never really known as the fast guy in the field. So they can make the card pretty bad, to be honest, with just really good run block, maybe some decent hands, and probably not too great at route running or speed at all. But I think we could see a Brandon Marshall, but I'm going to be honest, I really expect an O-lineman. But as for the defensive hero, this one is actually pretty interesting here, right? Because during the Most Feared promo, if you guys went to the solo challenges on Halloween night, there was the, what was it called? The Jakenstein monster, I think. And it was a little picture, and we deciphered that and everything, and we found out that it looked like James Harrison, right? It definitely looked like James Harrison from that picture. Nothing came out of it. Well, I think we're going to see James Harrison this week. In 2007, James Harrison had an interception, 3.5 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles. If he doesn't deserve this card right here, I really don't know who does. It only makes sense for James Harrison. I look back at all the other players. I mean, they could go wherever they wanted, I suppose. Free safety, we don't have anybody there just yet for the flashbacks. So they could go with free safety here. But, I mean, that's an insane game for James Harrison. And as for the LTD player, guys, as I said, the LTD is a player that still currently plays in the NFL, but it's from previous weeks or previous years. 296 yards, 3 touchdowns, NFL record, rookie, Adrian Peterson. I think we're going to see an LTD AP. So honestly, I feel like this could be a pretty good team week. We could see Adrian Peterson. We could see Josh Allen. We could see a Tyreek +1. We could see a Dalvin Cook +1. And we could get a Brandon Marshall, who I don't think would be a crazy one, but it's probably no lineman. And then James Harrison, who could be a really good pass rusher. I know we have a lot of good right outside linebackers already in the game, and I believe James Harrison is a right outside linebacker. I know we already have Lawrence Taylor. We have Derek Thomas. I know we have a lot of good right outside linebackers, but he had a crazy week. Steelers teams would go crazy for a good James Harrison card. And that card's James Harrison, he plays pretty decent every time he gets a new card in Madden. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, make sure to drop a like in the video. And of course, hit that sub button down below. Let me know down below what you guys think about this. Who do you think is going to get a team of the week? I'm excited for LTD AP. I mean, how does Adrian Peterson not get the LTD this week with 296 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns? I think he deserves it. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time.